Om Shri Satnam Sakhi. Once, when he went to his fields, he saw some farmers mercilessly beating the camels. He asked them the reason of doing so, whereupon those farmers said that the camels were very lazy in running the water wheel, as it was the farming season and water level was very low. It was expected of camels to work speedily so that the lands could be irrigated well in time, otherwise, the crops would wilt and wither away. Understanding their predicament and problem, Sadhguru Maharaj related the situation metaphysically and soulfully sang the following song. Let the tears always overflow. O the lovers of the Lord, always have their water low level. Fasten the water wheel with the virtues divine, and irrigate the crop with love tears shine. Arise awake from the infatuation dear, says Temu never again will. You get human from here. In the aforesaid devotional song, Sadhguru Maharaj reminds human being to recite the name of the Lord and fulfill his life's mission. Before it is too late, for never again will we get human from here. Sadhguru Maharaj sang this song with a high-pitched, sweet and sonorous voice. God knows what magnetic effect it had on the peasants, farmers and workers, that they left their work for some time and listened and even sang in chorus with Sadhguru Maharaj. Not to speak of human beings, even camels and oxen who ran the water wheel, the cows and buffaloes appeared to be nodding their heads with joy. Strange is the divine sport of the Lord. At that time, Sri Tahilram thought that he must go to look after the fields, particularly when the water level was low and the fields had to be irrigated in time. When he reached there, he found the cows and buffaloes merrily grazing in the fields. Again, he saw the oxen and camels, who ran the water wheel at the rest. When he came nearer, he found all the farmers, peasants, and workers actively participating in the devotional singing. Some were playing on iktaras, musical instruments, some were playing upon the empty pitchers. He found Sadhguru Maharaj singing and playing on iktara. Great was Tahilram's anger. Addressing all of them, he reminded them that those were the days of low water level. If they did not irrigate them in time, the crops would wilt and wither away. Better go away and adorn the temples if you are so interested in devotional singing. Sri Tahilram reprimanded them. Then addressing Sadhguru Maharaj, Tahilram angrily said, "We made you in charge of the shop and the entire business was ruined. We asked you to look after the garden and the garden became desolate and damaged. And then in deference to the wishes of the mother, we entrusted to you the work of looking after the fields and you had upset everything. You show no concern, no responsibility. Not only this, you have spoiled Gwalal also. He also does his work superficially and never put his heart in his work. What can I do all alone without your cooperation?" Very angry and distressed, after rebuking the farm workers, Tahilram returned home. After Sri Tahilram's departure, Sadhguru Maharaj silently walked through the jungle and reached Bhitsha, where his sisters lived. Bhai Vishandas was a saintly being, a great devotee who served saints and sages with all his heart and soul. So were his son Lakshmi Chand, Shevakram, Tekchand, Tirathdas and Basarram. Tekchand and Tirathdas were great saints and ascetics. Lakshmi Chand and Shevakram were householders. Sri Chelaram was their father-in-law. The entire family was religious minded. They conducted spiritual sessions both in the morning and in the evening regularly. When Sadhguru Maharaj reached there, Lakshmi Chand's son Gurmukh and Shevakram's son Sarvanand Shevakram, Chetaram and others were participating in the satsang and devotional singing. Many other devotees and holy men were also there in the august assembly. All of them were very happy to see Sadhguru Maharaj. They offered him seat and asked him to sing a few devotional songs. Taking Iktara in his hand, Sadguru Maharaj started singing very sweet and heart-touching devotional songs. Sarvanand and Gurmukh Das supported him in singing. The entire assembly of devotees and disciples felt a thrill of joy. All the audience went away after taking prasad, consecrated food. After the departure of the people, Bhakt Shevak Ram Lakshmi Chand, Srimati Gyani Bai and Srimati Ishwari Bai inquired from Sadguru Maharaj about the family welfare. Sadguru Maharaj told them that while he was looking after his fields and sitting near the water wheel, when an idea occurred to him that he, Sadguru Maharaj, should visit his sisters. They could guess that he was scolded by his brother. Therefore, they did not inquire further. Next morning, Saint Menguram of Berani arrived with his team of devotees. He was welcomed and offered proper seat. Sadguru Temuramji was also very much pleased to meet Saint Menguram. In the evening, they started satsang. First of all, Bhakt Chetaram and Krishndas sang songs. Thereafter, Bhakt Lakshmi Chand and Bhakt Shevakram sang devotional songs. Then came the turn of Saint Menguram, and finally it was the turn of Sadguru Maharaj. He sang soulful songs overflowing with love and renunciation. It was midnight, but the listeners were so much absorbed in listening to the songs of Sadguru Maharaj that they lost count of time. After rhythmic chanting of Ram Naam, the satsang was over. Saint Menguram asked Lakshmi Chand, pointing to Sadguru Maharaj, who that saint was. He appeared to be great and perfect ascetic. His very face indicated that he is veritable God. Saint Menguram was told that Saint Sadguru Maharaj was the son of Bhakt Chelaram. He was spiritually inclined towards God right from his birth. Great was Saint Menguram's joy. In the morning also, satsang continued for 2 or 3 hours. In the evening, quite a good number of devotees turned up when they heard about Saint Menguramji and Sadguru Maharaj. So much enchanted and enthralled were the audience that they lost count of time. It was past midnight. Saint Menguram proceeded to Berani along with his team of disciples. On that occasion, Chetaram, Kishandas, Dinaram, Dularam and others got initiated by Sadguru Maharaj and became his disciples. In Khandu village, Tahilram narrated the story of Sadguru Maharaj's disappearance to mother. When the devotees did not see Sadguru Maharaj at the satsang, they asked Gwalal about Sadguru Maharaj. However, they started satsang. First of all, Gwalal sang some devotional songs, which were followed by others. It was over by 10. The assembly of devotees asked Tahilram whether Sadguru Maharaj had been sent by him somewhere. Tahilram told them that probably Sadguru Maharaj might have stayed at the fields, as those were the days of low water level. He however said that Sadguru Maharaj might return the next day. But when Sadguru Maharaj did not return home even on the next day, Tahilram went in search of the younger brother. First of all, he went to his fields, where he was informed that Sadguru Maharaj had already gone away walking by the side of stream. Then Sri Tahilram went to the garden, but he could not trace him out. Then he went to all those possible places where he could find Sadguru Maharaj, but he returned home disappointed. After the evening satsang, however, one Asuram, son of Gopaldas, informed the holy assembly that he had been Sadguru Maharaj doing satsang at Bhakt Vishandas' house at Bhitsha. He conducted satsang for 3 days along with Saint Menguram of Berani. He further informed the congregation that had he known that Sadguru Maharaj had gone there without permission, he would have brought him Sadguru Maharaj back home. Next morning at 5 a.m., some of the devotees, Atmanand and Manganram, rode to Bhitsha. Arriving there, they saw Sadguru Maharaj and told him how his mother had not touched even a morsel of food, how Gwalior was ceaselessly, and how other members of the Holy Assembly had become distressed and sad. Begging leave of all the relatives, Sadguru Maharaj, accompanied by the messenger, went back to Khandu. Mother Krishna's eyes were filled with tears, with a voice choked with emotion, addressing Sadguru Maharaj affectionately. She said, "Son, how is it that you leave the house without any information? We, the members of the family and all the members of congregation, wait for you very anxiously. Keep worrying about you without having a wink of sleep. The fields, the gardens, and the shop remain neglected. What can Tahilram do all alone? Do devote time to meditation, but like a good householder. Stay in the house and do pray to God as well. If you are unable to look after the fields, do stay at home, serve the saints and cows, but do stay at home." Referring to the word home, Sadguru Maharaj said, "O revered mother, day and night I am busy in building my home, since it has remained desolate and ruined for a very long time. But I am trying my best to reconstruct and build my home. With your blessing, it will soon be complete. Then, staying in the heavenly home, I'll feel bliss. Even then, I'll obey your orders." Now, Sadguru Maharaj was referring to our eternal abode, God, and that he was trying his best to achieve reunion with the Supreme Soul. Listening to the meaningful and thought provoking words of Sadguru Maharaj, she said, "Son, my blessings are with you. May you abide by in that eternal abode, but in this house also you have to do something. Sri Tahilram works all alone, and because of overstrain of work, he feels very much annoyed and irritated. Gwalior also does not put his heart in his work. Therefore, do as it pleases your elder brother." After that, Sadguru Maharaj and Gwalior offered meals to the saints and also took meals themselves. After a rest of an hour or so, they had a talk about divine matters with the saints. As the news of Sadguru Maharaj's arrival reached Khandu, many exalted souls and spiritual aspirants arrived for having sacred darshan of Sadguru Maharaj. Their dialogue about divine matters continued for about 2 or 3 hours. Then the devotees and spiritual aspirants requested Sadguru Maharaj never to leave them in separation from Sadguru Maharaj. They felt very much distressed. They had suffered from the pangs of separation from Sadguru Maharaj for 5 days. They requested Sadguru Maharaj to inform them beforehand or take them also away with him. Sadguru Maharaj smiled and in the most mystical manner replied, "It is very difficult. The path is very long. It is better one should tread on the path slowly, lest one should get tired and sit down in the middle of the road." Saying these words, Sadguru Maharaj, along with saints and sages, passed through the gardens and strolled on the bank of the stream. There Khemram, with folded hands and in a very reverent manner, said, "O noble sir, you said just now that it is a very difficult thing, and the distance is also very long and far off. Pray, do tell us what that difficulty is and how far is the destination."